Hello folks, I'm going to talk about this book, Flint. I said previously, in like Flint. It's in like Flynn, but there's a Flynn in the story, interestingly enough. Louis L'Amour. Now this was first published by Bantam in 1960, it said. As you can see the peacock. I don't have a good setup here, I'm doing things a little differently. This book was republished in '97. This particular book is like 19 years old, this paperback. It's in very nice condition. So that's 37 years after Bantam first published it, which is interesting. Again, I'm not going to put this up right away. You might hear a plow or something going by. It's a cold, snowy week this week. I rather enjoyed the book. Louis L'Amour does take literary license. I was going to say it'd be a spoiler, but I think I just won't allude to it directly. But this fellow, you might be able to figure it out by what I say in the synopsis. This fellow believes he has cancer. Flint is actually sort of his stepfather. And I kind of like plots where someone famous or well known becomes the unknown character who is traipsing around. This happens a couple of times in this book. It happens in other Louis L'Amour books and other westerns, where say for example, Jesse James would disguise himself as a normal cowhand, and then they find out who he is. So I'm giving away parts of the plot, but of course there's an attractive young lady or two in here. This fellow, the protagonist, is who sometimes calls himself Flint after his stepfather. I guess he's justified in doing it. Some famous people in America take their stepfather's names and use multiple names, gain a lot of power, if you know what I'm talking about. But there is almost a range war going on, and the end is kind of a surprise. Like I said, there's literary license. There's financing involved. I'd say it's not that Louis L'Amour books aren't very good, but I'd say this is a little above average. Some of the books I didn't enjoy as much as others. Like I said, on some of the plot lines where people are hiding themselves under different names, I like that kind of thing, and I'm surprised when people find out who they are. And like I was saying, this fellow who calls himself Flynn is pretty darn cynical. For a while, thinking everyone in humanity is kind of against him. And that's a little different than a lot of the Louis L'Amour books. He tries to have good versus evil, and not so much cynicism. I'm getting on to 4 minutes. YouTube likes longer videos. I don't get paid anyway. I'm going to wrap this up pretty quickly. I'm going to see how my last Louis L'Amour video did that I did a few weeks ago. I asked people to select 1 out of 3. No one did. It's not really a surprise there. I may or may not review those. I like these last 2 books, I think, especially Sitka, better than those other 3 books. Again, they're average Louis L'Amour books are pretty darn good for most typical Western writers, though. And be careful out there, folks.